Good rising, brethren. This is Big Judah coming to you guys, California. Before I begin, and of all praise to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. I pray the Most High blesses this lesson this evening, gives more knowledge and understanding of the events of the past, in order to understand events that are currently happening on the earth, so we get a much better understanding of the things that are soon to come on the earth. Brethren, we're going to be getting into this book here. Actually, finally barely received it. The Secret History, or the Illustrated version right here. Is this the Illustrated Secret History of the World? We're going to read a little section, okay? And it's the chapter is the Occult Catholicism, okay? Occult Catholicism. Let me see if you have the book already. It's looking like it's page 351. Actually, no. 349 is what we're going to read today. Just a little section and then talk a little bit. 349. And it talks about how these churches here have stolen our information. Just going to read a little bit of this, the top paragraph here. It says, the world's greatest library of occult literature is to be found in the Vatican. The church has never believed that the occult sciences do not work. So the hidden sciences, our information, they know that it all works. They know that it's all functional. Okay? It says it has only sought to keep the the exclusive control of them. So again, it has only sought to keep exclusive control of them. So they wanted to control the occult sciences. They wanted to just get our information and keep it under wraps. Take credit like they're the ones that came up with these sciences, or they're the ones that have always been in control of the sciences, of this information. Okay? It says sociologists have attributed religion's power over the people to its ability to explain life's unknown. Okay? Numinous dimensions, and so keep dread at bay. Religion must, okay, seem to be able to manage the dark volcanic power of the spirits, which sometimes erupt into the material world. So again, the world's greatest library of occult literature is to be found in the Vatican. The church has never believed that the occult sciences do not work. It has only sought to keep exclusive control of them. Sociologists have attributed religion's power over the people to its ability to explain life's unknown, numinous dimensions, and so keep dread at bay. Religion must seem to be able to manage the dark volcanic power of the spirits, which sometimes erupt into the material world. A little bit more. In Northern Europe, many had made spiritual quests outside of the Roman Catholicism. Okay. Spirit was galvanized by a mysticism, equally dark and dangerous, but operating within the church. Now we'll stop on that part right there. We'll get into some more of this stuff a little bit later. But this just pretty much explains what the Most High has already shown us. That they've taken all of our records, They don't let anyone else see them, and then they seem to think that they are the only ones that can tell you who did what. They're the only ones that, they have the last word with everything, but they're getting all of their information and their understanding from our records. Just like we known it from the other videos that I've done, talking about how when they came into our lands, they just built over the sites. The Most High even has made them just leave it there so you can just see it with your own eyes, like in Cholula with all these churches built on top of the pyramids. They went and got the information from Europe and Ireland first. They got our information there. They built over our sites. That was a directive that was sent out from Rome. They took all of the writings, I'm sure, and they put those in the Vatican. So remember, before they started taking over our lands, they didn't really have any writing. They had very little information. Once they got to our lands, that's when they got our writings. And like I said, they knew that the information was correct. That's why they kept it, and they still keep it to this day under wraps. They got over here to the Americas, to our lands over here. You just imagine all the information that they took from here. We know that all of a sudden, once they got here, they got a hold of our, calendars, and all of a sudden they fixed their calendar. We know that King James came over here in the early 1600s. Then all of a sudden, after King James came over here, got records, I'm sure, took them back, anglicized them, rewrote them. Now all of a sudden they have a 1611 Bible. They knew the information was true, just like it says right here, but they wanted to be the ones that were the lords over the information. Ever since they got their blessing, that's what they've been flaunting in front of us the whole time, as if everything started in the Renaissance era. So all of a sudden, they got our information, put it on lock, and then said that they were the ones that were the lords over the information. And all the way till today, these people still seem to think that, they can have a conversation using our records against us. To see the Most High is now, like I said, the people want only go to these religions when they seem to believe that they have the answers. And that's what they've been able to act like they have all the answers for everything. But we know that that's not true. Remember, we did the videos on Bancroft, and when the Catholic Church came over here, and they had to figure out, like, how do we explain it? We didn't know that there was a continent here. How do we explain the Catholic Church? How did we explain? We've pushed everything that we were the lords over the information. We got the information from England and Ireland, but we had no idea that there was this huge continent with all of these people speaking all these different languages, with all these different customs. There was all these animals that we were unaware of. How do we explain that when we said that we know everything? They don't explain it. All they said was anything before Columbus, they don't accept. They accepted it enough to take all the information back to the Vatican and use it to fix many of their exploits, their failed exploits that they had already, that they had done before. And then, so then all of a sudden they were acting as if they could be the ones to answer all the questions. Before they got over here, they couldn't even get their calendar together. So these people were not the lords over information. They did not receive the covenant. They made up a Renaissance religion. But the ones that had that made the covenant were the people before them. So all the way till today, these people still act as if they have the answers. They think they have the answers to the plague. They thought they're telling people that they have defeated the plague. I mean, it's hilarious to listen to them and to watch their broadcasts. I keep an eye on that stuff. And what's happened is this, like in a newspaper, you got your front page news, and then the information, that they don't think is that important is on the back pages. Well, as I'm watching like the news coverage on CNN talking about COVID, talking about the plague, it's like in the last, if it's an hour show, it's like in the last like 49 minutes, 50 minutes of the show. It's like, oh, we've already defeated that. Let's put that at the back. And we're going to talk about, Boulder, Colorado. We're going to talk about, gun legislation. All right. We're going to talk a little bit about, what happened in Atlanta. Okay. And then we're just going to bring on just random hosts or random people to talk to fill up the time. And the last 50, around the last 50 minutes of the show. Okay. Now we'll talk about COVID. Now we'll talk about the plague as if it's already defeated. So you can tell, and that's been going on show after show after show as I watch them. You know, I'll just kind of check around. It was a DirecTV is a beast. You can just pause stuff, just kind of fast forward into it, and find out where it's at, and you can just see it. So they're trying to relegate it to the back of the telecast, to the end, as if they've already defeated it, as if COVID, or the plague is already done with, and let's move on. One thing I didn't see today was, if you watch, I think his name is King on CNN. He's the one that usually does okay, we have this many states that are trending up. We have this many that are, holding steady. And we have this many here who are, trending down. I didn't see any of those broadcasts today. I did hear that all of a sudden now 20 states are trending up on another, and some other news. It was actually, I think, a story that someone sent me. 20 states are already trending up. And I was talking to a colleague at work, and he was like, it seems as if it's following the exact same pattern as last March. How the Northeast, they got hit first, and then it kind of just makes its way into different areas over the course of time. But see, they have they're the ones that got any kind of the medical information they got from us. They came over here and learned how, we took care of ourselves. They learned about how, the Most High gave us the information on how to take care of ourselves. When you pass that down to Noah, they got that information. Use that to make up their pharmaceuticals, pharmakia, their witchcraft. But that's what's going on right now. They still want to hold on to power and act as if, you know, they're still in charge. They have all the answers. All the answers they have come from our books. And they know that what the Most High gave us works. See, they don't want to tell everybody that. They still want to be the middlemen. But see, what they've come up now is not going to work, because now they're under the curses. So they're not hiding all this information in the Vatican because, it's just too much information for people. They hide that information because they have a monopoly on, information, and they want to keep it that way. But the Most High is exposing them to, you can see that they don't have any knowledge, understanding, and he's going to make that abundantly clear very soon. So when they're sitting here making it seem as if, I don't know, they're holding all this information in the Vatican archives. I don't know, what are they trying to shield us from the truth? The Most High is going to expose them again, continue to expose them, that they didn't have this information before they got here in 1492. They came here and stole it and took it back to the Vatican. That's why they have 50 miles of all of our information, all of our books. But see, now the Most High has already locked them down again. He locked them down for a reason, because they're experiencing the curses. They were locked down first last year. So it's following the same pattern, except this time it's going to be much worse. and they were talking. Well, I'll probably make another video on this other information. But I wanted to, this is the book that we got. Hopefully, you guys were able to actually order it. The brother actually shared it with me. I shared it with you guys. It's got a lot of really good information. And it's like now, it's like when you read things, we can pull out way more information because of all of the other understanding that the Most High has given us. So we know that, the information that they kept, the occult, which would be our information, the hidden information. That's why they try to make it seem like it's, something really, really bad. It's occult, information. It's just our information that they've stolen. And they make it sound like it's, occult because only they can read it. It's not for every other people to read it. But the Most High is going to continue to expose all of these lies and bring out, you know, all of their lies over these last few hundred years. Yeah, like I said, this is all a process of bringing us from the tail to the head and making them go from the head to the tail. All praise is to the Most High, Yahweh. Acknowledgement of the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement Yahweh Shai. Shalom.